New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hello. Question for you. Are you happy with your current job? Are you enjoying getting up and going to work every day? Do you like what you're doing? Do you feel like it has purpose and meaning behind it? Do you enjoy getting up and going to work? That's the question for you. And the question that follows that would be, do you often wonder, well, what is my purpose? Well, what am I doing? Am I just getting up and going to work every day? And what is the purpose behind that? Like, is there meaning or purpose behind it? Well, I'm here to help you with that. I'm here to guide you and show you that there is purpose in your life and that your life does have meaning and that you can do and work and have a job or a vocation that you love and that you feel successful in. So I am Reverend Lisa, and I am a spiritual life coach, and I'm here to help you connect with your inner dazzle so that you can find your purpose in your life. So you might ask, well, what is an inner dazzle? That inner dazzle is that innermost part of yourself that is totally connected to your heart, to your soul, to that part of you that just knows what to do, that's full of harmony and peace, and that is just experiencing life at the fullest, and that is living in authenticity. That's what your inner dazzle is. And I'm here today to help you connect with that. So the problem that you might ask would be, well, am I living my purpose, or I'm just getting up and going to work every day? And what does that mean? Well, I have a quote for you that I thought fit perfect, and it's by Bishop T.D. Jakes. And he says, if you can't figure out your purpose, figure out what is your passion. For your passion will lead you right into your purpose. So that's the key right there, is to find out, what are you passionate about in your life? What brings you joy? What do you like doing? There's got to be different things, or one thing that you just totally enjoy doing that you could find purpose in and that you could actually make money doing. So that's the truth, is that the good news is that you have the power within you to find that and to discover that, because the part of you that is that knowingness part, that inner dazzle part, that is your intuitive part. And that part of you knows what to do, when to do it, where to do it. That is your intuition. And we talked about that a couple of months ago. I did one of the shows was on intuition and how to develop your intuition. And your intuition is actually that part of you, that inner part of you, you'll hear it talking, like it'll be kind of in the back of your mind saying, oh yeah, you should do that, or no, you shouldn't do that. Or sometimes it'll be a gut feeling. It'll just be more of a feeling instead of words. It can be different for different people in different situations. So it's that part of you. It's that part of you that's inside of you that is telling you and guiding you what to do. That's the part that you want to begin to listen to. And that is our inner voice. That's part of our inner guidance. And to me, I believe that that is the divine working through us, that there is a divine energy or essence or source, divine source, higher power, God, whatever word you want to use. And that is guiding us in the direction that we need to go. The key is that we need to learn to listen to that, because a lot of times we don't listen. And speaking about that, so my experience that I have with that is, I think back about when I first started ministerial training, way back, I date myself, back in 2002, I actually became a licensed minister. And before that, the process of getting to that point was definitely an experience. The thing was that I wasn't really listening to my inner voice. I was just kind of ignoring it. And I kept thinking to myself, I'm not a minister. Why is this voice telling me to go to ministerial school and do all this training and everything to be a minister? I kept thinking, who, me? I'm not that kind of a person. That's just not my style. And many of my friends will tell you that they kind of laugh because they're like, oh, well, here's Lisa. Here's just her crazy goddess self. And yet I am a minister. I am a licensed, ordained minister in the New Thought realm. So that's the funny part, is that it did take me years to listen to my intuition and listen to my inner voice. But I finally did go to ministerial school and training. And then as life goes on and moving on ahead, 2007, I became an ordained minister, and I worked at a New Thought Church, New Dawn Center for Spiritual Living, which is an organization that a lot of us are a part of, and it's csl.org. I don't have that written down, but anyway, so I did follow my listening. I did follow my calling, and I became a licensed minister. And ever since then, the good news is that I feel like I have been living my purpose, and it has been changing and growing over the years. Because in the beginning, I felt like my calling was really just to be a presence in the church and to be a part of teaching people how to connect with their divine self, and knowing and recognizing that we do have that divine quality within us. And I actually did youth ministry for many, many years, and I love working with the children. And I felt like I did have a lot of my purpose was geared around that. And then now, as we're moving on in this year to 2021, I am now found a different purpose. And I'm feeling like that it has to do with, and this is the feeling part. I told you, you're going to have that feeling part. It's going to guide you. And now I have created a company and a business called Inner Dazzle LLC, where I help people develop the dazzle within. So that's the spiritual coach work that I am doing now. And it is just almost up and running. So I'm looking forward to working with some new clients and teaching them and helping them to connect with their inner dazzle and all the wonderful things that go with it. So that has taken me several years, and it is a process. Like I said, it's a journey to finding your purpose, to finding out what it is that you are being called to do in this world. So I have a few tips for you about how that can work for you. So tip number one is to finding your purpose. There's 4 steps that you can start with. And number one would be to sit quietly. And I know for some people that's kind of hard, and it used to be really hard for me back when I was in ministerial school. They would tell us, to sit and meditate or just sit and be still. And it was like, well, that was just really hard. But there's a lot of tools and techniques to help you sitting and being quiet. Not only do you necessarily need to be just totally quiet still, you can have meditation music in the background. You can listen to the sound of the ocean. The focus is just to take time to be still. Because when we take time to be still and we begin to still our mind, that is when the inner voice can speak out. And that's the key, is that you want to be still and let that inner voice speak to you and guide you. And we all have that within us. That's the great news. We all have it within us. So the second one is that you want to ask yourself this question. If I could do anything I want for a living, what would it be? What would it look like? That's the question. If I could do anything for a living, what would that be? And it's okay to dream and think big. Think big. Just say, hey, what do I really want to do with myself? And there's that part of you that does know. So ask yourself that question and just sit still and listen and let it just come to you. And then what I like to do is I use my get a journal, which I've already recommended to several of you in the past. So get yourself a journal, find a little book where you can keep writing all your thoughts and your notes in. It's great, and you have it all in one space. So get your journal, and then you're going to write. The third step in tip number 1 is to journal on that. And the idea behind that is that you want to journal your thoughts about that question. What would I want to do for a living? What does it look like? Just dream big. So you're going to write these things down. The idea is that you want to write your thoughts down in a way where it's free flow writing. You don't want to, don't worry about being formal about the way that you're writing. Just write your thoughts down. Just let it flow out, let it flow out, let it flow out. And you'll find that you will be able to identify with some really great ideas that will come to you through writing it down, because then you can look back in your journal, you can read through and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I even knew that. Sometimes stuff will come through and you don't even realize that it's coming through. So use your journal, write it down. And then I also want you to write down 5 things that you enjoy doing. So that is the next tip. So you're going to take your journal, and I want you to write down 5 things, 5 different activities, things that you love doing. That's the part where you will help identify and connect with what brings you joy, which we talked about last month. We talked about joyfulness in June. So you're going to connect to your joyfulness, and then you're going to find out how it can bring you money, income. Connect with that. You can connect the two. You can have joy and income at the same time. That's the good news. Okay, so let's see. So after you're done with that journaling, that's the great news, is that you can really connect with that inner part of yourself that knows what is the next step to finding your purpose. So when we're looking into finding our purpose, I have a quote from Oprah that's really fantastic. I wanted to share this because she does a great job with all this kind of wonderful inspirational stuff. So Oprah says, "There is no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor your calling." That's that innermost part of you that's joyful and happy and is doing what they love. That's your calling. It is why you were born, and it is how you will truly become truly alive, she says. So I just think that's such a beautiful quote. It is why you were born, and it will help you be truly alive. And that, of course, is what we're here to do. We're here to find our purpose. That's why we were born. It's our divine birthright, is to experience it and express it. And that's what God, or that higher power, wants us to do. And the universe wants you to be happy and experience love and joy and peace and harmony and health and abundance and prosperity and all the good things that you wish for. That's what we're here to do, is to create that and find that and connect to those things. So yeah, I was thinking about it, and it's like, well, if you think, sometimes we think, you might be frustrated, or just say to yourself, well, how can I find my purpose when I'm just, right now I'm just trying to get by. I just need to pay my bills and take care of my kids, and I'm just trying to pay my rent, right? So sometimes it's hard to find joy when you're feeling stressed out or pressured, or, you're in a spot where sometimes we have to just get by. And that's okay, because we're all in different phases of our lives. We're all on this spiritual journey. And sometimes we have to go through that period of time when you are just paying your bills and you're just getting by. And that's okay. But during that time, you can still experience one happy thing a day. That's my recommendation, is if you just have to be in a job or a place where you just need to get by and get things paid for and just get to the next step, that's okay. I want you to still experience one thing that brings you joy every day. So that's my homework for you, is in your journaling, you can just, make sure that you're still finding some joy or happiness somewhere in your life, right? We got to have some joy. That's why we're here. That's part of why we're born, right? So let's see. The next thing, tip number 2. Here we go. So once you have written stuff down, so once you have some clarity, then the next thing is to take action. So I want you to, once you have some clarity, it's going to really help you, put some fuel in your fire and help you move you in the right direction. So the first thing would be, I recommend that you read. There's lots of wonderful inspirational books out there, and I have lots here. I've just got a few. I'm just going to pop up and show you. This one's great. The Art of Meditation. This is by Joel Goldsmith. If you're interested in connecting more to that inner part of yourself through meditation, he does some beautiful writing too. So that's a great book for a starter. This is also wonderful. The Power of Now. This is by Eckhart Tolle, and he does a beautiful job at describing what it is about staying in the moment, being present. And I talk a lot about that too. And that's one of the things I focus on, is taking a moment every day, 1 minute pause. So I have my 1 minute pause that's also available for you. So I'll share with that to you in a minute. Sorry. Okay, another good one is Wherever You Go, There You Are. And this is by John Kabat-Zinn. He also does a fabulous job at really helping you connect with your inner self and discover who you are, because here we are. So now that we're here and we're expressing and experiencing life, it's great to be able to find a way to connect with who we are on the inside, not just our physical self, but our spiritual self. It's really great to begin to develop that and learn about who you are and discover what it is that you love and what brings you joy, because that's what we're here to do, is experience joy in finding our purpose. So let's see. Oh, and then another great book, of course, here on New Thought Media Network. We love this book, The Science of Mind. This is a wonderful daily guide. You can get this online. It's a guide for spiritual living. It's the Science of Mind magazine. This is wonderful. It has daily quotes, affirmations, readings, all kind of wonderful things in here to help guide you in your spiritual path. So I really highly recommend this one. And you can go to csl.org and you can order a Science of Mind magazine, or you can just look it up, Guide for Spiritual Living. So there's just some suggestions of some wonderful books for you to get you on your spiritual path. And that definitely will help you find your purpose. So let's see, what else do we have here? So let's see. Okay, so if we go on with tip number 2, so another suggestion I have for you would be writing. So the idea is that you want to tell your story. You want to turn your pain into purpose. And a lot of times that can be challenging, right? Because, most of us have a story. I think, we've all been through challenges and difficult times in our lives. And the idea is that, yes, we've all been through difficult experiences. And the idea is that we can learn and grow from them and not just stay stuck in the bad times and the difficult challenges and all the pain. Sometimes we have to live with it for a while, but it's always great to reach out, find help, find support to be able to process that and begin to heal those experiences so that you can move forward in your life. Because once again, we're here to find our purpose. We're here to find joy. And so we can learn and grow from our difficult and challenging times. I know we've all had them. I lost my mom at a young age. I was 18 when my mother died from cancer. And it's been an ongoing journey of learning how to mother myself when I didn't have a mom. We all have a story, right? So the idea is that you want to write it down and tell your story. It's good to get it out. Don't just keep it inside of yourself. Get that story out, write it down, write it on paper. And then when you write it out, you will find that it brings you some healing. Okay, so our tip number, let's see, we're tip number 2, we still have the other piece would be gratitude. Of course, that is always a plus. So once again, our lovely gratitude journal, I really, really, really think that this is something that everybody should do. So you want to at least write down, Oprah suggests 5 things a day. 5 things a day, simple or not. Because the idea behind gratitude is that when you experience and express gratitude, more good comes to you. Great. Isn't that great? That's just the way the universe works. It's a universal law. It's a law of reciprocity. So when we express gratitude, gratitude comes back. So when we express love, love comes back. When we express and share and give of our tithes and donations, money flows. When you give it, you receive it. That's just how the universe works. It's a law of the universe. So the gratitude journal, I definitely would recommend. That's a key important point. And then to carry on with the last point, and it kind of keys in with what I just said. So I want you to think about volunteering or donating money. It's about being altruistic and having a greater sense of purpose in your life. So when we can donate our time or donate our money, that will also bring us purpose and meaning, because it connects us to that bigger self. It's like, okay, yes, we all have our issues, but you know what? Somebody's probably having a harder time than we are. And a lot of times when you can take time to donate your gifts or your tithes or your time, you will find that you can gain wisdom and healing from doing that. And I experienced that one time I took, as a youth minister, I took my teens. I call them my teens, with New Dawn Center for Spiritual Living back many years ago. But we actually went to the Ronald McDonald House, and we got to prepare meals and give them to the families that were there, that were dealing with children that were in the hospital and were going through some really challenging times with some illness and, It was just a really, really heart-opening experience. First of all, the kids learned how to cook, which some of them didn't even know how to make mac and cheese. So that was awesome. They gained some self-esteem from that. And then in talking with the families, all of us, our hearts just grew bigger by donating our time and being able to share and support these families. So I definitely suggest that you try that. That's some beautiful ways to express and experience learning about who we are as a person and learning how to find our purpose in our life. That's what we're here to do. So yeah, let's see, that's it for my tips on there. Yeah, so the good news is that the outcome of all of these wonderful things that you do, take time to create these things by, going through the list, tip 1 and tip 2, and create more space for inner awareness within your own life and learn how to express and experience what's going on in finding your higher purpose, finding your purpose in your life, because we all have a purpose. So I have another quote for you that I want to share that's super fantastic, and it's by Deepak Chopra. And many of us know Deepak or know of him, and he speaks his word of wisdom is always a gift. And he says, everyone has purpose in life, a unique gift, or a special talent to give to others. And when we blend this unique talent with service to others, we experience ecstasy and exaltation of our own spirit. So well said. I think he just I like that. I put that toward the end because I feel like that kind of wraps up everything that we were talking about as far as finding and connecting with your inner purpose, with your purpose in your life. So yes, that is great. And I think that is about all I have for today. It's a little bit shorter, but I think you got a lot of great information, and you have some great homework. So I want you to take time to get your journal out and begin to write and ask yourself, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What do I enjoy? What do I love? So you can connect with me if you want to continue this conversation further. I'm here for you. Connect with me on Facebook, Spiritual Resource. You can connect with me on my Rev Lisa page. You can also send me an email at lisa@innerdazzle.com. lisa@innerdazzle.com. I keep wanting to add the LLC on there. And the LLC is on the YouTube. So those of you that are here via YouTube, go to my Inner Dazzle LLC and subscribe there. And you can get lots of 1-minute pause. I have some beautiful videos on there. I just got back from a trip to Hawaii, so I have some beautiful 1-minute pause that are beautiful ocean scenery. So check that out. I want you to enjoy that. Inner Dazzle LLC. And then you can also go to New Thought Media, ntmedia.org, and click on donate, because we always here at New Thought Media Network appreciate tithes, gifts, send them in our direction. And as I said, it is an opportunity for growth. When you give, you receive. So as you put your time and your tithes out there, it will come back to you, I promise. So go there and donate. You can also donate to me also in my personal ministry. I am so grateful for that. Any time or tithes that you have to send my way. And that is on Venmo at Rev Lisa #1. Just as simple as that, Rev Lisa #1 on Venmo. So send your gifts and your tithes there. I'm so grateful and appreciative. So email me, send me a message if you'd like to spend some time. We can do a 20-minute call, complimentary call, and we can get you on track with your spiritual purpose. Thank you so much for joining me today, and know that our time is a celebration of your personal empowerment and finding your inner dazzle. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Peace and blessings. Bye.